before we start off with today's video, if you guys would like to join the Discord server, link will be in the description below and will also be in that pinned comment. If it's been more than 7 days, please use the latest video, as that's one of the links will be working. And of course, I would love to have you on this channel as well, so make sure to subscribe with that bell on so you don't miss any of the videos, shorts or community section posts. But anyway, let's get right into today's video. Alright guys, just a quick announcement. I have launched a new channel called Denayan Short Stuff. Link will be in the description below. Basically it is a comedy channel with series and episodes, and if you guys don't mind checking it out, sharing it, liking it and subscribing, that would mean an absolute ton if you did do that to help this channel get off the ground. So a big thank you if you do it for helping the channel and me out. But anyway, we are here with the smart #1. The language of the youths, you know, all on Instagram. #smart #1. That's going to be hilarious when that time comes on Instagram. But anyway, basically it's a revival of Smart, you know, the makers of the little tiny city cars, you know, the 4.2 and the 4.4 and even the Roadster. So it's a small SUV and it is electric, and apparently it's to do with Mercedes and Geely have some sort of thing together, so they've created this electric car. And basically we're just gonna see how it goes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, when was the last time you saw me clean shaven? Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so when it comes to the outside of the #1, so as you can see you have Smart written out, and then you have lights as well with it being joined in the middle, and then you've got a somewhat big grille there as well. Now this is not for an engine, this is because it has batteries in it, and batteries do actually need somewhat of, you know, they do need some cooling of some sort, so that's why that's there. But the front is quirky. Let's put it like that. The whole car, the outside, it's a quirky design to say the least. When it comes to the side, well, you got the white there, and then you got the black up there with the Smart logo just placed on the C-pillar. And the overall design kind of gives me Mercedes Mini vibes, but you know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it looks unproportionate at first, but then you look at it and it's, you know, it's not the worst thing you've ever seen. And the rear, you can actually see it's partially copied the front in the way of the lights. So you got the lights are exactly the same shape, and then they meet in the middle with a light bar right there. Now, as you know, I don't like light bars, but because it's just me not liking light bars, I can't really consider that a con. But anyway, so I've seen quite a few cars where the logo is below the light bar, and I feel like that looks unproportionate. But with this, it's actually on top. But ignoring all of that, because that literally does not matter to any of this. But, you know, it gets my vote for being on top. But anyway, it is a minimalist design. I mean, you've got literally a little logo and a little model name and the lights, which are all red, by the way. But it's just, you know, it's flat, but it's okay. And then the bottom just has his number plate place and reflectors and little, what looks like reverse lights, possibly. And just a place to put your number plate and a silver plate, and that is really it. When it comes to the inside, so first thing you see is it looks very cool and futuristic looking. But let's talk about this first. So firstly, you are separated from your driver, or you are separated from your passenger, depending on how you want to look at it, which means it does give a more sporty feel. Also, that big infotainment screen is high up, which means you're not looking down and you're not going to be distracted at it, so that's two good things. The actual shape I really do like. So the air vents are, what are they called? Not a sphere, no, not a circle either. I don't know what you call it, stretch sphere, I don't know what it's called anymore. But they're nice, and I like the shape of the dashboard, you know, it's very cool, it's smooth as well. And the center as well, you know, that what looks like silver metal, it just looks really nice. Now, one thing I would note about this is the climate controls and the mirror controls, for that fact, because both have to be done within the screen. The mirror one is a bit odd. I don't recall ever a car having this. Maybe Tesla did it, but I don't know. I don't keep up to news with Tesla. And then the climate controls, well, there are little buttons at the bottom, and one has like auto on it, which means if you've already set it, I presume you can just have it on. But like the temperature thing is on the screen and the fan speed. But either way, it's a nice interior, especially you got like a little digital thing for the driver as well. That's nice. But otherwise, it's completely fine besides the mirror and temperature thing. When it comes to the performance, so you got a 66 kilowatt hour battery and electric motor. It had 268 horsepower and 253 pound-feet of torque. It was rear-wheel drive, and it did weigh 1,800 kilograms, and being an electric car, it was automatic. 0 to 60 was 6.5 seconds, which is pretty quick, and the reviews said they got it under 6 seconds, which, if that's true, even better. And top speed was 112, but I think it hit some sort of limiter or something like that. Now, you can get a smaller battery. I think it was 49 kilowatt hours on the Pro trim. So if you want a smaller battery, there you go, just beware there is less range to it. And something else I would like to say is, I think there is another version of this car, which I'll talk about later, but I feel like there could have been another version, different battery sizes. When it comes to practicality, so first things first, the front had a 15-litre fruit. Not that big, but at least you got something. And secondly, the rear boot wasn't actually that big. It was 323 litres, which, isn't the best. And if you got I think it was the premium trim, I think that's what it's called, with the subwoofer, it drops by 10 litres to 313, which again isn't the best. But one good thing I will say is that the boot opening is a nice wide square shape, so no difficulty with lengthwise and all of that. The actual boot size itself does vary, as I will now show to you with the next picture in a second. Let me talk about the rear seats first. Well, technically, okay, you know what? The rear seats, the legroom was actually decent enough, as well as the headroom. And you see that arrow over there. Basically, what that's intended to mean is for me to remind you to say that the rear seats do actually slide, so you can trade legroom for boot space or the other way around. So it's up to you completely, really. The handling and the comfort. So like the Subaru Crosstrek we had last week, it wasn't the most comfortable car in the world. I mean, granted, like the Subaru, it wasn't so uncomfortable that it would be unbearable, but it was noticeable that you would feel bumps and humps and all the rest of it. Now, as you got up to speed, that would improve, so at least there's something for that. And handling wise, well, the steering gave enough feedback, body roll was maintained, and it was rear wheel drive, so, a little bit of fun. And body roll was, to a certain extent, so that was all, pretty decent. I wouldn't call it fun. I mean, if you got the tail out, then yes, it would be fun. But for this, it's all right. It can go through the corner and handle perfectly fine and hold its own and not cry in the corner. Let's put it that way. Is there anything else worth noting? Well, yes, this is what I said about another version. There is a Brabus version of the Smart #1 with 420 horsepower and 4-wheel drive, because it has an extra motor on the front. Now, I've excluded this from this review, and I think a lot of reviewers have actually, but if you want me to review it, let me know in the comments. Now, what is the verdict? So, the exterior is quirky. I do like the interior, the whole design of it all, the way it's futuristic. The legroom was decent, and so was the headroom, and sliding rear seats was a useful feature, and handling itself was alright. However, the cons are, the boot was on the small side, the ride was slightly rough. Like I said, it wasn't the worst, it could be comfortable at times, and at higher speeds it did improve. And the climate control and the mirrors have to be done within the screen, so that's not great. But anyhow, the pros double the cons, so there you go. But anyway, that does conclude my review of the Smart #1. So when I put on Instagram, it's hashtag smart hashtag 1. Great naming, Smart. If you want me to review a car, you can let me know in the comments below, and even on the Discord server, because there is a place for, you know, ideas and discussion about my YouTube channels. But anyway, I'll see you guys in next week's video. Peace.